Two 4K TVs that are 55 inches that are quite a bit lower in price than a lot of the other competitors out there. One being the Insignia NS-55DR710NA17 and the Costco TCL 55UP120. The difference between a 120 and a 130, which you can find online from like jet.com for like $50 more, is that the remote has a voice activated feature, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Both are around like $550 right now. They may be coming down low in a bit. Alright, so let's talk about the similarities. These are very, very similar TVs, almost identical in the use, but I'll go through that. So both are 4K with automatic upscaling, though the effectiveness of like when it looks at something that's a really old TV show, it's not always what you expect the upscaling you'd hope for. But you know, it can only do so much. Both have Roku remotes, and the interface is practically identical. The only difference being, so you have the volume and mute buttons on the right-hand side, and you got the same buttons on the top. The different being the different hotkeys that you have. The Insignia from Best Buy has Netflix, Sling, HBO Now, and Google Play, whereas the TCL from Costco and I think Sam's Club has Netflix, Amazon, RDO, and Vudu. All right. Oh, and another thing to note is that there's a sleep function on the Insignia from Best Buy. There's no sleep function on the one on the TCL. All right. Both have the Roku remotes. Both have, you can get onto, you can download Roku on your phone. There's an app, and it gives you a Roku app. You can then use it as a normal remote, you know, and that's basically your remote without your hotkeys. Or you can also do like a voice search. So you click there. You can either do text or voice. The voice search, give access, go ahead. And then you could say like Farscape, and then it'll give you like two options. You want to watch Farscape on Vudu for $4.99 an episode, or do you want to watch Farscape on Netflix, which you already have an account on? So you click the Netflix one. All right. So it does have voice activation, but you still have to press several buttons on your phone for the voice activation to work, so it's not seamless like you'd hope. All right. Both have 4 HDMI cables, 1 USB or HDMI hookups, 1 USB hookup, an antenna coaxial cable hookup, SPDIF, which is really digital audio hookup. They also have a headphone jack, so you can plug in like regular computer speakers. So I did that over here, and I'll actually unplug that because so they don't sound the same. There we go. So now I can be more accurate. But yeah, so you can actually really increase, it's a cheap way of doing it, so you don't have to buy like a surround sound, because you might already have computer speakers, but if you want to buy like a 3.1 or a 5.1 for $200, 3.1 might be $190 or $100, you know, you can get pretty good sound out of the TVs. Then the current sound isn't great, because they're just not made, they're made for pictures, not for sound. Anyway, both have the video in, left audio in, right audio in for the component connections. They also have an Ethernet in, as well as true 60 hertz screen refresh rate. Now we'll talk about the differences. The Costco TCL, one of the pros is that it has an additional right and left component connection, probably an output. I'm not 100% sure. And also, while it is an actual 60 hertz screen refresh rate, it claims to be an effective 120 hertz screen refresh rate. So there's a difference between like actual and effective. They try to use some manipulation and do that. Some of the 1080p TVs may have an actual 120 refresh rate. So you might get better, if you're doing like fast action, like PlayStation gaming or something, you maybe want one of those, but check and make sure it's actual and not effective. So it's 60 hertz actual, but 120 effective. The other one's just standard 60. You don't play games. It has a 2-year automatic warranty from Costco, and for $25 more, it extends it to a 5-year warranty. So that's definitely a plus. It's as long as it's not like smashed or dropped or anything. It's just more like if a pixel goes dead or if something stops working. That's what it covers. It also has a 90-day return policy, and that's better than the Insignia from Best Buy. All right, now we're going to go to the Insignia from Best. Oh, the cons of this. Okay, the cons of the TCL are sensitive ears like mine can hear a beep noise coming from the back, especially the far back right. I can also hear it right now. I don't know if you will be able to, but it might really annoy your dogs. So, hey, that's one thing to think about. If you have sensitive ears, you can hear high-pitched noise. That's one of the reasons I have to return personally, but other friends can't hear it unless they're really close. Another thing, I thought the audio was a little more echoey in this one than the Insignia, but it wasn't a deal breaker. And it also will have a blurry connection when we connect it up to a MacBook Pro using an HDMI cable, as we're going to show you later. All right, the Best Buy Insignia. Pros, it has a sleep function built into the remote. We talked about that. It has, I think, maybe slightly decent better audio, so like a 70 might be a little bit louder than a 70 on a TCL, but it's not a big deal, not really worth much. And the cons, it's only a 15-day return policy as opposed to 90. And the Best Buy warranty, they're very vague about. You have to actually go to your store to buy it. You can't like go on their online chat. They're like, oh, it varies from store to store. So I can't give you an expected like how much you're gonna pay. But I thought when they quoted me at the store, it was like $75 for a 3 to 5 year plan or something. So this was a way better deal when it comes to the warranty. So cool. Now we're gonna watch on both the so you can see the difference. A 4K movie from Netflix, Orange is the New Black. So I'm gonna take the remotes, and both remotes are interchangeable. Both work for both, but they do rely on infrared. So whichever one you point it at, or if you're far away, it'll work on both. However, when you use the phone, you actually connect it through Wi-Fi, so you don't have to point it at anything, and you don't have to use a phone that has an infrared blaster on it. So both are on set for 70, and I'll mute one at a time, and I'll press go at the same time.
Did breakfast?
No, but if you're hungry, you can lick yesterday's off the wall. You can lick yesterday's off the wall. Nasty.
This is hard. This is hard work drinking as a and you just cannot get enough. No. I'm calling you thirsty bird. It's almost done.
Smells like old Easter in here.
I hate cupcakes.
Man, I don't like finish. Old Easter.
What's happening? I hate cupcakes.
So you can see the audio is a little bit softer at level 70 on a TCL than the Insignia, but it's not that big of a deal. And this is the 4K picture that you
I
get.
need to know what's going on.
If you want to get close, you can see how close the pixels are, or how clear the pixels are.
Nice. That wobbler looks like the yellow angry bird.
Please.
How clear it is.
Is this about talking?
Alright, we'll pause that and go to the other one.
Or annoying the living crap out of me. Stand up on your goddamn feet and mate. Do you need to pee?
I need to know what's going on. If there was a hearing, I was entitled to be there. Are you am I going to Max?
Remember, I asked.
Alright, now we're going to go into another thing. The interfaces are identical, but they just have a different flash backdrop. So I press the home button, and now I'm going to go into computer. So you go over here, you can set up computer. When you set up your thing, it'll ask you what's connected to HDMI, you say computer. So there we go. So if you look at this, you'll be able to see, if you look pretty closely, that there's kind of like the equivalent of about 3 pixels going around here in each letter that just look fuzzy. I don't know if you can actually see it through the video. Yeah, now you can. So now you see how those are fuzzy looking? Alright, so now we're going to compare that to the other TV. So we're going to do this one. I'm going to switch the HDMI adapters. Alright. So exact same thing. Let's see which one I got it in. Alright, so this one's the Insignia will actually be clearer. It doesn't have those few pixels around each letter. So if you're going to be using an HDMI cable connected to a MacBook Pro, I mean, this will be more clear. I don't know if you can tell, when you use a PlayStation or something else that's connected also by an HDMI cable, I would assume that the Insignia would be a little bit better than the TCL due to, they're both being used by an HDMI connection, but I don't have a PlayStation to actually verify it. Now let's talk about like load times. So I'll power both off, and I'll let you see how long it takes for both to start up. I think the TCL is a little bit faster, so pressing both at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was a lot faster than I thought. They usually take a lot longer to turn on. Alright, wait till they're completely off. This time. Usually this takes about 8 seconds, and this takes about 6. Well, okay. If it's done from a cold start, I think that the Insignia takes a little bit more time to turn on than the TCL. But if you turn it on, turn it back off, apparently it's very quick to turn on. So sorry, I can demonstrate that right now. So that's my review. So currently, I personally want to stick with the Insignia, even though it doesn't have nearly as good of a warranty. It's maybe slightly more expensive when I bought it. I like it because it has slightly better audio. It has better picture when it comes to using my MacBook Pro with it. It also does not have the high-pitched noise that I hear from the TCL. And I checked out 2 different units for the TCL. I guess those are the big reasons. However, I do think that for many people, the TCL will be just perfect. The warranty is going to be amazing if you really care about that, and you can't really beat $25 for an extra 3 years of coverage. So I don't think that they have a high defect rate. That's why I'm not too worried about buying the coverage for the Insignia. But I don't think you're going to be going really that wrong unless you're going to be using like the HDMI and you're going to get really close so you can actually see the little weird pixels around the HDMI use. So hopefully this helped, and hopefully you'll make the right decision for you.